All right, we got here a 2016. This is a Range Rover. Customer complaint is there's no heat. Now, I'm not familiar with these vehicles at all, but he showed me that this is the auxiliary water pump. But he was saying he was checking for power to this, and there was no power. Also, I think there's a code for it, so I'm in the middle of doing a scan. Let's see. All right, looks like the scan finished. Okay, so we got some intermittent high-speed CAN bus circuits, but in the HVAC we have auxiliary heater water pump and windshield misting sensor. Fine. So right now the heat's on. It's on high, and it's nice and cold. So let me go look up this code. All right, let's see what we got. So we have Land Rover Range Rover Sport L494. It has a 3.0 liter in it, V6. All right, let me just look at a diagram before anything of the HVAC system. Rear AC, automatic AC. I don't know. Start with this. Let's try to find this. Rear fuel-fired booster heater coolant pump. I think it was called the auxiliary. Alright, the only thing I see is a fuel-fired booster heater coolant pump and a booster heater fuel-fired pump. Alright, it is not helping me. I'm gonna have to look up the actual code. What was it? B12A6. That's subcode 13. Alright. That's cool. Diagnosis by substitution from a donor vehicle is not acceptable. Substitutions of control modules not guarantee confirmation of a fault. The DTC will set when the ignition is set to on or with the engine running. When it is repaired, it will self-delete with age. Oh, here. Fuel-fired booster heater coolant circuit. Coolant pump circuit open, circuit high resistance. So, fuel-fired booster heater coolant pump. Now, there was on the diagram, let me open another tab if my internet allows it. Alright, so here we have two pumps. One is the fuel-fired booster heater coolant pump, and one's the booster heater fuel-fired pump. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Fuel-fired booster heater coolant pump and the booster heater fuel-fired pump. I don't know the difference. Let's go see. The fuel-fired booster heater coolant pump circuit. So that's this one. Okay, where does this get its power and ground from? This fuel-fired booster heater, which has constant battery power. It has a fuel pump plus. Oh, that's to feed that motor. Then it has a LIN network, a ground, and some sort of signal. Where does that come from? From the booster heater fuel-fired receiver. This is ridiculous. Okay, and where's that battery power come from? Fuse 27. Is that the same one that feeds? No, so we got fuse 40, 20 amp, and fuse 27, both in the passenger junction box. Let's go look at those fuses. He already took it apart for me. Alright, let's see. Put this on the door jamb. Well, that's towards its end of its life. Good enough. That's an annoying spot for one. Alright. At least it has a chart. That's 41. 20 amp right here. I see it. Oh, it's labeled here also. Nice. Alright, so I got power on that side. And power. Okay, that one's good. Fuse 40. What was the other one? I think 27. Yeah, 27. It's a 5 amp. 27 is a 5 amp. It shows TPMS, which is funny, but okay. 27 right there. Power and power. Okay, so both those fuses are good. We have to check. He said we have no power at that pump, but since the code's there, it probably won't give. Let's go inside and see if we can either actually control it. So, what color are the wires? Pink and orange, maybe? So no, this is green and orange and white and purple. Yeah, that could be those. So he opened it up, I think. He was testing it from over here. Let's see if we can see the colors. So it's more like purple and green slash orange and white slash purple. It's really just a purple and a green and an orange. Yeah, we're just gonna assume that's it. Try to follow this wire, see where it comes from. It comes from this box right over here. All right, let's go into let's go into actuation tests. Fuel burning heater control status water pump. Is that what this is? I don't know. Okay, you know what? Let's first clear the code, see what comes back. Alright, so everything cleared. Let's start it up. Let's go out, let's do another scan. Alright, so we got one code in the HVAC. Auxiliary heater water pump. I really, really wish I knew exactly where this water pump is. Alright, so it definitely looks like it over here. Yeah, there's 3 things holding it to this bracket. So I think he said there's more fuses here. Let's take this out of the way so we can see what's going on. Alright, so here we got a fuse box. Now, I guess the easiest thing would be if we could just check continuity from right here through the pump. I'm just going to pierce these wires right here and see what we have on them. So let me first see if there's any voltage on this. And there is not. So we can go to ohms. And we got 7.47 ohms. Which is way too high to be a motor. The question is it coming from somewhere else? Let me shut the car. Yeah, still got the same thing. Let's try the tap test on this pump. See if the ohms change when we tap it. Doesn't really change. Let's put a test light through this, and then we'll see if we can clear the code. Alright, now let's turn the key on. Okay, key's on. Now I'm going to try to clear this code. So it's at intermittent now. It's not at permanent. Just want to see if any light came on here at all. Okay, clear fault memory. Read fault code. There's no DTC. Let's start it up and see if anything happens there. I just want to see if it could give the power to the light. Yep, it's lighting up. See, it shut off already, but it lit up right when I started. So it could definitely give power to the light. It's probably going to set some sort of code now. A permanent code for the heater pump, but it definitely lit up right away when I cleared the code, and then it shut off. That's telling me that since the 7,000 ohms, I don't know the exact resistance of it, but maybe this is the wrong resistance. Let's try something else. We'll try a regular. I'll try my test light in here. All right, we'll put one here. And then one here. Okay, so now it's going through my test light. Let's clear DTC. See, it's lighting up. So the module could definitely handle current to it. It went off because it's going to reset the code. Oh, you see, it was a different code. Sorry. Last code was 11, not 13. Let's see what 11 is. The first time we had 13. That's what we have now when I put this test light in. With the other test light, 11 is short circuit to ground and it's open, which makes sense because that was too high resistance, and this open, I guess, is too low resistance. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. Should we try about an amp, a different test light? We could try that. See if we get it to clear the code and to keep this thing running. What do we got here? This is 550 milliamps. Here, this one has adapters on it. This, I think, is around an amp, a little over an amp. We'll try it. Let's see what happens now. Clear DTCs. Okay, it's lighting up. We have this intermittent code of the 13, but it's staying on. Let's clear this DTC. Okay, there's no DTCs and it's staying on. So the pump should pull around an amp. Yeah, right now, well, obviously the pump's not on because it's not working, it's open, but the wire is good. We're substituting about an amp load for a pump, and the computer's happy with it. Read full codes, we're good. This thing needs a coolant pump. All right, so if it's happy with 1 amp, then let's say this is 1 amp and we have around 13 volts or 12 volts, whatever, I don't know exactly, but it should be around 12 amps. It should be around 12 ohms in this circuit, right? Don't do the stuff on camera because my brain doesn't work, but does that make sense? If I have around 1 amp, yeah, I don't know, could be somewhere around there. All right, well, we know that this substituted load value is good. It's not setting any codes. This thing just needs a pump. I'll pull this out and you'll see we'll get our code back. Let's see, read fault codes. Yep, pump's open. Bad pump. They're gonna fix it. I don't know if I'm gonna get a video or if even if they're gonna want to fix it, but that's it for now. All right, thanks for watching.